be required to do a combination of warehouses, but that's very rare. Either you'll have EWM or either you're any of these, we will be using either of these. Okay.
Hey Rohan, this is
Yes.
Hassan here.
Yes.
Quick question. When we implement EWM, can we implement without the WM as such?
Yes. See, it's either EWM or WM.
Yeah.
So your warehouse system, warehouse management will be done either by the SAP WM in ECC or by a uh, EWM system. So we are assigning plant and storage location to a warehouse. Okay, so
That will take care of it.
yeah, that will take care of it, that
Okay.
either
Got
of
it.
that is used. But you might have different storage location. One storage location you can have WM, one storage location you can have EWM.
Mhm. Got that. Thank you.
Okay. Then since we are using QRFC technique for EWM, we have to select Q here. Okay. Then these are standard settings. Distribution immediately at the time of document creation. Okay. And then you have various check marks. Whether you want the serial number to be determined in EWM basically. Match determination in EWM. Whether GR can be posted from EWM. All these check marks are there, and just keep it as you have copied from template. So only in special cases we'll activate this. Okay. So the main setting here is what kind of warehouse it is. Then so you can see these are QRFC related settings, but they are as part of our node logistic execution, EWM integration. So mostly you will be doing the settings. Okay. So again, the SAP has recommended some more settings related to our EWM system. You remember yesterday we saw queue type. So which is the queue, which is where the sanity of data is checked. So that's in one queue. Then these are again standard recommendation by SAP for the RFC connections. That aggregation should be no aggregation and mass queue should be disabled. Okay. So these two entries are, these two settings are there for, not only for EWM, but this can also be used for, when you connect WM as a decentralized. So these settings, what basically they do is, so if we have a look at the queues, okay, if you observe carefully that each delivery has its own queue. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of this? That each delivery can be individually checked, distributed, and if there is error in one delivery, it is not stopping the other deliveries, right? Other processes can continue. So any posting. So let's say, for example, you know you can see that this delivery, if the GR has failed, okay, then the next confirmation from EWM of post confirming the put away done will also fail. So what is happening is for the same delivery, if one posting is pending, the other posting will lie in the queue waiting for the first one to be cleared. Okay. And this relation is kind of uh, mm, it's not there for on generic basis, on a delivery basis, but it is an individual delivery basis. Okay, so now this gives us a lot of flexibility that if a delivery has a problem, that delivery only will have a hold in the queue. Others keep on processing, no effect. And why sticking to that, the main problem would be that if there is some issue, the subsequent postings after the issue should not get processed. So delivery level standard interface will take care of that, that subsequent posting. Let's say for example we did a good receipt and we put it into quality stock, and then we converted the quality to unrestricted. But let's say the good receipt has failed. So the next posting of quality to unrestricted will also fail, because your good receipt has failed. So related to that delivery. Okay, so you will see such, more number of LUWs, we call them. Yeah. So this settings, controls that, you are creating a single queue for a delivery, and the subsequent queues are, kind of coming one behind the other, and there are no aggregation. That means these queues are not aggregated at delivery level. So you can imagine, in WM, or initially what used to be that there used to be just one queue, DLW star. So if one delivery had failed, from a decentralized warehouse, so all other queues would get failed. All other deliveries would line the queue. So when we would have, removed the issue for the first delivery, then the other deliveries would have been processed. Even the correct ones would, line the queue. So, that kind of, queue issues are now sorted with queued RFC. So this is very flexible. You can work, and you can, it only stops, only the error ones are, displaying here. It does not affect the good ones. So this setting controls that. Then next set of setting is your logging, okay, of error messages. So whenever we, here we go. So whenever we receive message via queue, we want to log success and error message both. Okay, why we need success message also? Because if in case, something has been processed and you want to see, how the data was determined. Okay, so the logging you can see in SLG1 transaction. Okay, so again, SLG1 transaction we are going to use a lot when we want to analyze something. So whatever I have done, or through some user ID it's done in the system, it will get logged here if you have activated log. Okay. So EWM we generally, in EWM also, and in ECC also, we activate the log, so that, since their postings are happening in background, we need to understand, how things were carried out, and if, we want to analyze something. Okay, so this is again SAP independent. Then again, by the time, we get a log for today, we'll see the next setting. So next setting is register navigation from queue. So this is one-time activity, when you get a fresh new EWM system, and you implement, you have done all your integration settings till now. This would be in the registration mode. So you have to just come here and, register that you are going to use queues. Okay, that's again, one-time setting you have to do. So here you can see, this is how you can see your log. That this is some batch processing going on. I think no user ID has been used till now. So okay, so you can see, like this, some batch work is done through some batch job. So you can see detail log, deletion of read travel or whatever is done. You can get a detailed log. Here, like what's being done, and if some background action is processed, so you can, track that as error here. So, if there was no logging, if let's say a good receipt, queue has been processed, but you want to analyze how it went through, so you can just, once it is processed, you cannot re-trigger it, because the good receipt is completed, and just you want to have a quick snapshot of what would have happened. So this logging really helps. Okay, so the next set of setting is the most important one, and this setting basically helps us to distribute the deliveries. Okay, so what happens basically, if you recollect, I created delivery and it automatically got moved to EWM, correct? So same way, if um, I'm creating master data, so after creating master data, they don't go directly to EWM. We have to, do something called SIF to move them. Okay, but for delivery we cannot use a batch job or some transaction, some sifting technique to move, because delivery is a transactional data and it has to be instantaneous, and it has to go quickly, so that the business processes are not impacted. Some inbounds are to be received or some outbound is planned, or any movement which is done in ECC which has to be replicated to EWM, so those are not impacted. So for that reason, your delivery creation should always be immediate. Okay, and so here what we do basically is, okay, let me see what is values. So here we create a distribution model. Okay, so this distribution model, you will see, let me activate it. So in this demo system, in each of the demo system, you'll have a distribution model view. Okay, so you have to ask your basis team to give you a distribution model view. Okay, so it's nothing but, if you, I mean, some guys are from ABAP, so you might be knowing these things. So this distribution module is nothing but your group of function modules. Okay, so which helps to send data directly to EWM. So in this transaction, what we have to do is enter our warehouse, our logical system for EWM, and enter our model view which your basis will give you. Okay, so most of the companies, this transaction is also run by basis, because this has impact on how things are automatically moved to EWM. Okay, so you have to say inbound delivery, outbound delivery, both. Okay, you have to select both and say create entries. So you can see, what it does is, you know these are the methods. Okay, these are the methods. This method are used for automatically moving your data to EWM. Okay, and what you're doing is you're activating this, okay, for your warehouse. Okay, so whatever is saved will be replicated. Whatever change you do in the delivery, this is for inbound, this is for outbound. Whatever request changes you do in ECC gets replicated to EWM. Okay, so you have to say okay. In the background, it activates those functional modules. So again, if you try to create again, it will tell you that it's already created. Okay, so or else then what you can do is you can check your entries. Okay, everything okay for warehouse. So here, in case you find issue with this, I mean, we have created a model view warehouse. So like you have your, we have our Redbook activities, we have our activities to be done for, integration. Same way Basis has a list of activities as well to, when they integrate the systems, or, when they are setting up both ECC EWM system. So as part of their implementation program, so this is one of the settings which they will be doing, creating model view. So you have to take it from them. So until and unless you activate this model view, our deliveries will not be replicated to EWM. Okay, so it's very important to activate this model view. Okay, let's go to the next set of settings. So next set of setting is recommended by SAP as part of EWM, that is activation of delivery split. Okay, So I'll explain you what delivery split means and why we need to activate it. Basically, when we'll do our scenarios, then probably we'll see the impact on delivery split. But let's see the configuration that we need to do. This is subsequent delivery split, and we already define split criteria. So what we need to do is, what delivery split means. Okay, let's say, for example, and SAP recommends that we activate delivery split for EWM. So I'll tell you why we need to activate delivery split for EWM. See, if a delivery is created, let's say for a product, 100 pieces, okay, inbound delivery is created for 100 pieces. You you want to receive 50, okay, today, and remaining 50 you want to, you didn't get it, and you might be getting it in near future. Okay, so you can split your inbound delivery into two in the EWM side. So your delivery will be, split it into two, and the EWM, and which will ultimately go and split your delivery in ECC. Or let's say we can take some more example. Let's say if your delivery has more than one product and you want to receive some quantity, few products only, not all, and the other products you want to keep the delivery open and you want to close the delivery for some, so you split your delivery into two. Okay, this splitting comes into our notice mostly in the outbound side. So let's say we have a delivery for 10 pieces, okay, 10 different delivery for 10 different parts. Let's say, for example, we want to ship only 5 parts. Okay, so you pick those 5 parts, okay, and you good issue them. So you good issue them so that delivery in ECC which you created, for 10 parts will get splitted into two. Okay, because the good issue is at header level. Okay, so 5 parts will be good issued, and we can see the status turning completed, and for remaining 5 which are pending, a new delivery gets created. Okay, so I mean, this is very basic concept in WM, but here it happens through EWM. I mean, this is very basic concept in LE, logistic execution, not in WM, and we are going to use it from EWM now. Okay, so we'll see when we work with deliveries, how we can split the deliveries, and while outbound execution, how we can partially pick and partially deliver to customer, and how we can split the existing quantity of a delivery into two deliveries. So it's very obvious, while execution, people need that flexibility to automatically, uh, this splitting, or they should be able to do any kind of good issues, for any quantity and any group of quantities. Okay, so that kind of flexibility we can, in the background, the delivery split, takes care of, mapping to how it has been processed in EWM in the ECC side. Okay, so as per recommendation by SAP, we have to activate this. So first activation is at delivery type level. So most delivery, let's say the inbound delivery type is EL. That's I have already activated. The outbound, it is LF. We also have that activated. There are some special ones where I can DIG for inbound goods movement, DOG. So these are some special deliveries for posting changes. So I can see for them also it is activated. So basically, what all deliveries we are going to use, we make sure that it's activated. If not, our queue will fail, for posting the good receipt. Okay. Then we also have to activate it at warehouse level. So I'm assuming since we have copied our warehouse, these settings might have been copied. So you can see delivery split by warehouse is already active. Okay. So I mean, this was my final setting on the ECC side. Okay, where we now created a warehouse plan, store location, purchase organization, did the assignment, have carried out some basis specific setting, some warehouse specific settings like delivery split, identifying what kind of warehouse it is, and shipping point configurations we did. Okay. Now we'll now go to the other side, the EWM side, and probably we'll first quickly run through all the settings related to the basis setup, okay, which we already did in ECC. Same settings we'll have to also do it in EWM. Okay, so I'll come out of ECC and we'll log into EWM system now. Any questions so far?
Hi Ron, Prashant here.
Yes, Prashant.
Regarding the delivery split, it will be like in the ECC system, delivery will be one. Suppose we are posting the order of 100 items, and
Yeah.
100 items it will be created in ECC, but while reaching the EWM, it will be split into 50. Is it likewise?
Yeah, see, okay, I'll just show you in EWM. Let's say, for example, this is the inbound delivery. I'll just open it. So let's say this is the inbound delivery. I think we created that day. Two two six. I'll change the warehouse, I guess. Okay, let's say for example, here we have a delivery. We have 100 pieces here. It's showing as one, but let's say 100. Now we want to only supply 50. Okay, and remaining 50, I just want to, keep it open until the vendor, supplies the product. If not today, maybe tomorrow. So I'll split this delivery into two. Let's say this is a delivery document. I'll split it into two of 50-50. So basically your inbound delivery is splitted. There's one-to-one relation between your inbound delivery in ECC and inbound delivery in WM. So for some reasons, let's say you want to receive partial quantity, or you are expecting the parts to be coming up later, or in outbound you want to, there are a list of items, you want to supply some items, and remaining you want to keep the delivery open. Okay, so in that, or you want to supply some quantity, for any reason, there are many reasons. So in that case we will be splitting the deliveries here. So this document 11020, we might create two documents. We'll split it. Let's say some items we'll put it in 11020, some will be 11021. So as soon as we split it, in ECC also it is going to split the initial delivery accordingly in the background. Okay, so if the delivery split settings are not activated, we are saying that at warehouse level we don't want to split. So SAP EWM says you always have to split in ECC, because for our warehouse processing, we need the splitting functionality.
Okay, yeah, fine.
All right, so we are now into EWM system. First thing that we did in the ECC system was we created RFC user. Same way we have to create a RFC user here. So if you see the queues, see this is the RFC user based on which queues are executed. Same RFC user you have to tell your basis team to create one for you, okay, like we did it in ECC. You also have to create this RFC user in EWM, okay. Then same like what we did in the ECC system, we'll have to create logical systems, okay. So I mean basically what I would recommend is we generally prepare one Excel sheet with all the basis relevant settings, and we give them and ask them to complete those activities, and once they do it we just go and verify those things, okay. So this is generally the approach we follow, and we have this SAP integration document which you can use as a reference for system landscape, okay. So as we did on the ECC side, same way we have to create two logical systems, one for ECC and one for EWM. So this is the logical system for EWM, and this is the logical system for ECC. Sorry, this is the logical system for ECC. This is the one for EWM. Okay. So whichever system you are using for your demonstration or for your testing purpose, don't create these things. Okay, unnecessarily. It will. It might impact somebody else's data. So generally these are, we don't have access to this, and in this system somehow the access is there. So we create logical systems. So this logical systems basis team has to assign it to the client. So you can see this table is cross client. This is very important config. So this EWM client, we assign that logical system. Okay. So basically we create two logical systems as we did in ECC, same here. One logical system we are assigning to our self client. That means this system EWM 100, EWM 400. This is the logical system. Okay. Then I mean these clients are already created by basis, so they might have already assigned it to some logical system. So then logical system for ECC, we create RFC destination. Yeah. So as we saw, RFC destination in the ECC we created for EWM. Now in EWM we are creating a RFC destination for ECC. So this is the RFC destination. So you won't have access here, okay, because this is through which the integration and all those things are controlled, which system you are pinging and which system you are trying to pass data. So it's very important. You will never get access to this in any company. So mostly managed by basis team. Okay. So what you can do is, okay, we can do a connection test. So this is, I think I've taken a wrong RFC destination. Our destination is ECC. So that will start with T90 something. This is the wrong system. This is the system for connecting to ECC, RFC to ECC system. So through this RFC, EWM tries to connect to ECC, which is this host or this IP, and this is the ID password in ECC. So this is the ID password in ECC, to which, using which this will be executed. Okay. So this, you can see, this is the connection test. It is successful, and this is the time taken to reach ECC system from EWM. So if the system is slow or something, you can just see through this what is the actual time, time taken to ping ECC system. Okay. Then so this RFC destination, the next setting is what we do is in BD87. Oh, sorry, it's BD97. Then next transaction is BD97, where we assign the logical system, okay, to our. So this is the logical system this is the RFC destination. This is the logical system we created. So in here we assign the logical RFC destination to logical system. Okay. So what we have done here is we have done 4 things on the EWM side. We have created logical system. Okay. 2 logical system, one for ECC and one for EWM system. So since it is in EWM, we are assigning logical system to client. Okay, we are assigning it to client, and then this one we are assigning to RFC destination. So when data is created in EWM system, it is belonging to this client, and so client and logical system of EWM is taken from the client. But which system it has to go, which system the GR has to go from EWM. So it looks for the logical system, where in next few screens we'll be linking the logical systems again. So it looks for the logical system, and then in the RSV destination it looks for the IP of the system and all those things, and sends the data to that particular system. Okay. So just go through this um, settings that we have discussed, and it will help you to in both the systems it is same. It will help you to understand how the data flows through QRFC. Okay, so we did assign logical system to client, assign RFC destination in EWM. Okay, so now on the EWM side we have a business system group. Okay, let me open that. Maintain business system group. Okay, so again this is again important entry. So you will be creating one business system group here, or maybe if you don't have access to base system to create one. So this is nothing but it is nothing but it helps us to if you want some differentiator, okay, while we are working with EWM system. Okay, so just think about from the architecture point of view. This is EWM system. Now in our demonstration purpose we are just connecting one ECC system to one EWM system. Okay, but things might get complicated when you have a warehouse, okay, which is connecting to different ECC systems, okay, or it is connecting to a ECC system of SAP and a non-SAP system. So this EWM warehouse management, it can be also used by companies which are into warehouse management, that they rent their warehouses and they store products from different companies, and they manage the stock. Okay, those are into warehousing as their business. So these companies might also use EWM, right? Or your company, they have different ECC instance. They have another plant, and they have separate instance for another plant in a country, and another instance for another plant in some other country. But due to geographical location, both of them store in your same warehouse. So you're connecting to two ECC system. Okay. Or it is mostly complicated when you have two different, see, these two plants which I'm saying are for the same company, but let's say your company is into warehouse management. You store products for two different customers. Okay, so you store product for a customers, and let's say some pumps or some equipments related to some process manufacturing, some company stores products related to automobile in the same warehouse. Let's say they store crankshaft, they store gearbox. Okay, so depending the company, the operations it is into, you can store products for um, different warehouses, different customers, or the same customers, different plants, for example. So EWM has to communicate with those systems, yes. As I also told, sometimes it may be non-SAP as well. The ERP system can be, for example, BAN, okay, or some other, ERP system. There are many other ERP systems also, apart from SAP. So EWM, SAP says that, it's a warehousing software. You can also use it for, not only with SAP, but with non-SAP as well. It will integrate with them as well. So let's assume business system group comes into picture when you are storing products for different customers. Okay, so let's say my customer has a product X. Okay, a customer A. So things will become complicated when both the system, both the companies are having same number range. Let's say this is customer X. Okay, this is customer Y. Okay, so here the customer sends me a product A. Okay, so this product A means, let's say for example, bearing. Okay, this means it's a bearing for customer X. Okay, sorry, may not be very clear with the writing. So this this customer first tells me that, okay, take this product, it sends me via shipping. This is bearing, you might receive this bearing. The vendor, customer Y also sends me product A. Okay, I mean there are quite chances that they might be having the same number range. So here it is known as shaft. For them, A means shaft. Okay, so in the same warehouse, how can we accept the same table level? How can we have two products with the same name? Also, let's say for example you are storing products for X, products for Y. You want to differentiate the products based on uh, the customer. So it's a uh, it's a recommended approach that what we do is we attach prefix, either the customer name or short form of that customer name. So when I'm creating a product A bearing, I will assign a prefix X just to show that this is for this particular customer. I'll then assign prefix X to all my products. Okay, I will assign prefix Y for all the products for Y customer. Okay, so it will be easy for me. See, in the same warehouse, we will create one warehouse, we will be storing all the products. So it will be easy for me to search all the products. We can say Y star, and also it will help us to avoid any number range issues when it comes to you know um, sorting things out with this. There could be same numbers coming from both the system. Okay, so coming back to why we need business system group, we basically use business system group to implement this, what do we say, to implement certain bodies in the background. So we say that this product X belongs to this business group. So, this customer X will belong to this business group. So this is the number range to be followed. Okay. So, business system group helps us to, assign prefix or suffix to our, master data, just to avoid, complications. Okay. So I'll later on, share what all bodies and what all developments are required, or you can just read this information. Here also you'll get a lot of details, related to the body and those relevant things. Same thing, I've been talking about. Here you can see ERP A, ERP system B, 110 means screw, but it is belonging to business system group A. ERP system B, material 120, it's again a screw, but it is belonging to business system group B. So this is the enhancement spot, where we assign, the business system groups. Okay. If you're using one-to-one system, one ACC, one EWM, and or if you're using for the same customer different plants, generally we don't need to use business system group, but at least we'll have to create one in the system. Okay. Assign logical system and queue type. So again, this is the business system group. Okay. So whenever it is coming from this logical system, this is the business system group which it will take. Okay, and when this is our ECC system, so it is taking our group which we just saw. Okay, and it is same way like we did, we have to say inbound queue. Okay, and we have to select error handling. These are the standard entries which SAP has suggested. Stick, terminate at error, or you have a post processing. That means, when the error appears, so some of the LOWs are not splitted. Okay, so here we split the LOWs, and we have to strictly say terminate the queues whenever there is error. Okay. So just again in a standard table entries which SAP suggests, so it has to be done by basis. So just make sure that they are maintaining it. This also we have done. So again, the queue in scheduler and the queue out scheduler, we have to ask a basis to do this again. So as we discussed yesterday, this gives us what is the runtime. If there is any locking, how many attempts the system tries to post a document after how much interval. So if there is any locking, every 30 seconds the queue will be reprocessed. Okay. Sorry, every 300 seconds the queue will be reprocessed, and system will try to post the document 30 times. Okay, so 30 attempts will be made. Same what we did in the ECC side. SMQE, same way. Sorry, SMQE, same, that was queue in scheduler. This is queue out scheduler. So this is for anything which is going out. So again, we are this transaction, we don't own this transaction. Again, basis has to do this. What we need to ask them is to register it. So they register the queues here. This gives them the connection time, maximum runtime, and these are the specific times which SAP recommends. So again, we just see that they have done this. So next settings are related to us. Okay, so we have to do those settings. So let me go here. Okay, so one more setting that we need to do here is, defining the business system. Okay, so this business system concept is not there in ECC side. We haven't done it, but EWM system we have to define business system. Okay, so what business system does is, it tries to identify your logical system. So let's say, we have delivery, okay, coming up from customers, okay, and we don't know which customer has sent this delivery, okay. So basically at table level, we get delivery, we receive it, but we also need to store some data, some reference from where we received it. Okay, so let's say we have delivery 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Delivery 1 came from A. See, EWM has, we create deliveries in EWM. So ECC deliveries are replicated in EWM. Okay, but these deliveries, they follow the internal number range, right? Yes, the numbers are generated, in EWM with internal number range of EWM. So let's take, for example, we created this inbound delivery which we were looking at in our initial half. Um, Let me open this delivery. So if you observe, this is the ERP delivery we created, okay, and system internally generated 11021, okay, delivery. So this is for warehouse WHO1. So this delivery numbering is at client level, okay, same, you know same way, if another delivery comes from another warehouse, so the delivery number internally generated will be 11021, but it will be for a different warehouse. So we need to store, some information for a delivery to identify from where it has, where it has been received, from which ERP system, or what is the system details from where it has been received. Okay, so at table level, system stores business system. For every delivery system, it stores the, business system. I think if I have some delivery table, I can show you. No, probably most of them have to search. So basically, any delivery at table level will store business system. Okay, so the business system of EWM is, we have to first define the business systems. Okay, so we say that this is our business system, right? So we say that whenever we are receiving, any delivery from this logical system, okay, so we don't store logical system, we store business system in the table level. Okay, so this will help us to recognize, from where it has been received. So when we do the good receipt for a delivery, okay, then it tries to see what is the business system in the table, and then for that business system it tries to find out the logical system, then for the logical system it tries to find out the RFC destination. Okay, so EWM for a delivery doesn't store the logical system detail in the table level, it stores, the business system details. Okay, why it stores the business system details? Because for the same client, if you want a different RFC to be, let's say in same ECC you have two plants, okay, but you want to generate separate RFC calls for both the plants. So then you can create two separate business systems for them, and you create two separate apps. So let's say same ECC instance are used in two different countries, okay. So you want to have a different RFC call for a same system, but data for different warehouses, different plants. So you can same way you can say this is the logical system and this is the business system, and you can differentiate your queues. Okay, so just a bullet point here, business system, when we creating, as part of our functional design initially, what we need to make sure is, how many EC system we are connecting. Okay, if it is one, then we just need to create one business system. So every delivery will store in the table level that business system. Okay, if there are more than one warehouse, more than one instance, or more than one so you have to create those many business systems accordingly. Okay, more than one logical system or more than one ECC system you are creating. So you will be only using this when you have a complex architecture, a lot of warehouses and a lot of communications going around. Okay. I think we'll stop here. There are a few more things. So tomorrow we'll proceed with our EWM warehouse creation and EWM warehouse specific settings. We'll try to complete it tomorrow. Okay. Then probably from day after tomorrow we'll start with the SIF related config. Okay, SIFing related config. So is it clear so far? I mean, just try to go through what we have discussed. Business system. Try to understand. Try to read the textbook definition of this. No, don't need to go anywhere. Just try to read some more details about this in your F1 help here. Okay, same examples which I have given you are referred here. So just do a recap of business system group which are new, which we learned today. All other things we have already seen yesterday, on the ECC side. Same thing, logical system, logical RFC destinations. So all these things you are well versed with right now. So new things, business system groups. How do we integrate them? Why are they required? All those things you can just go through today, And you also have my documents. So just try to go through all the settings that we have discussed today. Okay. Any questions or anything which look unclear? Yeah.
Prashant here.
Yes, Prashant.
Actually, it's not regarding the today's session, but yesterday we were trying to create the a plant and all something. Okay, so we wanted to assign shipping point to a plant.
Correct.
So in the assignments, plant was not visible. So it was saying that we have to create company code, assign organization to the plant and something. So suppose we don't want to implement the SP, then
you don't want to create?
We don't want, suppose any particular company don't want to implement the SD module.
SD module?
Yeah. This organization level company code, this comes under SD, right?
Correct.
So someone don't want to implement the SD module, then how can we assign shipping zone to a client?
See, even though they don't want to create, they don't want to use SD module, they are not selling it something, right? Yeah. But still, they have to use a shipping point, for inbound group. So let's say they are only receiving stock, but I'm assuming something might also go out from warehouse. Let's say they receive from plant, they send to some other plant, okay, but they are not selling, to a customer, but they might be sending to some other plant. So basically, shipping point is not related to SD. Shipping point is purely related to logistic execution, where for your delivery processing it is must. So even though you don't use SD, it doesn't matter. Shipping point, it comes under logistic execution. You still have to create for working with EWM. It's an integrated system. So for working with EWM, you need to have a shipping point determined. So EWM integrates via LE. So this all these delivery things, it comes under logistic execution. If the deliveries are not created in ECC, EWM will not receive it. Yeah. For delivery creation in ECC, shipping point is mandatory.
Yeah.
So all your delivery mapping and all those things, they come under logistic execution. They don't necessarily come under SD. They don't come under MM. Okay, but there's a model which basically it's part of SD, part of PP, part of MM. It's called logistic execution, which takes care of the delivery creation and everything on the ECC side.
Okay, but
So
is
when
it
you are working, you as an EWM consultant, it will be expected in that you may also, take care of all this delivery creation and logistic execution things in ECC.
okay? But is it mandatory to assign the plant to a company code and organization level? To,
No, 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 no. I mean, those will be taken care by your, you know, relevant modules. Let's say plan to company code assignment is done by either finance or MM, or, for you, it will be the config of plant store location assignment to warehouse, creating a warehouse, assigning plant store location combination to warehouse. So plant creation, it's done by MM,
okay,
okay. So, but plan to store location creation again by MM, but assignment of warehouse, creation of warehouse, it has to be done by EWM consultant.
okay,
So
I
some
don't.
things, we are creating here. Some things we are creating here just for our demonstration purpose. We created plan so that we can have a independent data.
okay.
Yes, Weber.
But somehow we were not able to find that plant itself in the transaction. I guess OLVX or something. OVXC.
Okay. Okay. So
Even
can we?
even though we created the plant, we were not able to trace that plant in that transaction. So somehow we were not able to assign that shipping point to the plant.
Okay. Can we take it offline, Weber? We can have a separate session
Yeah,
and
sure,
you
sure,
can check.
sure.
So if possible, can you send me the screenshots? If I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do that.
I'll send you the screenshots.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll get back to you and we'll let you know if we can have a quick session to explain you or if I can answer you on email.
Thank you, Ram.
Okay. All right. No problem. Okay then. So we'll end the session for today. We'll continue from uh, business system where we have stopped today. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.